They just ate this in a single day.
This is our pineapple tomato, and my hands are pretty big.
That's big.
Oh, look
Ooh,
at that.
that's
They're
really
perfect.
nice.
And look at that, not a worm.
Man, if we ever find ourselves back in Africa, we should definitely start a canning business.
These are ready to can. This is what I'm going to put honey on and freeze. And this is all the pieces that are not so great, and I'm going to turn that into jam, peach jam. Can of beautiful peaches is just like, wow.
You can't really eat it raw because they say it's poisonous.
I can't do it like you.
One family, one spark, one child for our plan, for our plan. We go together hand in hand. For our plan. Love like that can move the land through every storm, through every plan. We shine, we rise for our plan, for our plan.
Hey you there, welcome to this channel. My name is Marcellus, and it's been a long day at work. Let me show you what I've been up to on this project so far. So I showed you this house in another video, but I could say now I'm ready for priming. I'm just finishing up with the caulking process before I start priming. And then after priming, paint it with 2 coats of paint. Yeah, it's been a long process, almost 18-19 days at it. Yeah, and it's been another successful day. Let's go to my wife and son. Let's go find some food to take home. Let's put this inside here first. I've got Wagyu ribeye steak. Ribeye steak is the most expensive. Ribeye is the most expensive piece of meat, and it being Wagyu is technically Japanese beef. It makes it even way more expensive, $73 for that piece. But I think we've earned it, so let's go home and prepare some really good steak. We've made some progress on our pantry. See all these shelf holders. Yeah, we've got that installed. Then we've got this nice counter installed over there. Yeah, and we're gonna put some more shelves on the other side of this closet thing. Yep, where are my people? Oh, he's asleep. I like it when I always get home and he's just so happy to see me. But yeah, let's not wake him up, because I'm told that the whole day he's been crying. He's having a second set of teeth coming out, and he's got fever and all that baby stuff. So yeah, we better let him sleep.
You've seen this peach tree in our background before on some of our videos.
Yeah.
So we've been carefully watching to make sure that we are able to pick as many as we can before they fall. So I've picked
because they're like invaded by what?
Bugs. Yeah, you can see bees.
Are those beads?
Yeah,
These are
bees.
jacket. What do they call yellow jackets?
Oh, maybe yellow jackets. Yeah, they're not true
look
bees.
Look at what they do to them.
Yeah,
So
they're
yellow
very.
jackets are kind of like ferocious, carnivorous beast.
I guess so.
Bee family or something.
Bee beasts.
Look at that. They just ate this in a single day, because yesterday this was not like this.
Well, and the other thing is the birds really like them too. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, as you can see, I have almost a bushel of peaches, which is incredible.
It's a lot.
So we have a couple more here. I was Gonna make sure I have gotten all the ones that are, oh, these are soft. These are kind of small, but we can still use them when in canning, so.
Good. Yep. So just leave that there. I'm gonna carry that inside for you.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
good, thank
Should
you.
we go harvest the corn?
Yeah, so let's go over here and pick.
You told me you also picked tomatoes today.
I did, I picked a nice bucket of tomatoes.
Wow, did it reach a bucket?
Yeah, here, I'll show you. Come.
Nice.
So yeah, it feels really nice about this time in the summer to finally reap some of the harvest of the things we've planted. So.
Good. Yep. So it was very surprising to me at the beginning that you could get so much food from a very small piece of
Yeah.
land, like a garden box, That's just so tiny. And
Well,
then
in
it
our garden,
produces
yeah.
it gives you enough to sustain you for a whole year.
It does, yeah. And even our garden boxes aren't like built up yet to where I would want them to be. So I feel like once that happens, then we'll get even more things. So.
Good.
But yeah, it looks like today it's been super warm here, 90, which is pretty hot for here. So you can see in here we've got a couple more that I should probably pick to make sure they don't get, the heat doesn't.
That,
this
that was
one-
growing inside the
This
wire.
is kind of put itself inside the wire.
Nice. We still have a lot of red tomatoes in there, honey.
In this heat, they
I-
ripen so fast.
Yeah. Do you need me to water them today?
I would love if you would water them, yeah.
I will.
I wanted to show you.
I'm so impressed by how much
This
these
is the-
garden boxes could produce.
This is our pineapple tomato, and my hands are pretty big.
That's big.
I would say they're massive, and if you, I don't know, I just still think they're so delicious. They're kind of sweet, and if people get like acid reflux from the acid in tomatoes, these
Yeah.
don't have nearly as much acid. Poor corn.
Yeah, there was so the wind was crazy the last 2 nights.
I know, wind, it's not very common for it to be so extremely windy here, but let's see if we can find enough for our dinner tonight. I always feel them, but this one seems like it might be. Let's just see what we have going on in here. Oh, look
Ooh,
at
that's
that. They're
ready.
perfect.
Nice.
And look at that, not a worm.
Good. Beautiful.
Yeah, so I think we should easily be able to find enough for our dinner.
Good.
I'm gonna pick this one too. Oh yeah, they're
Look at
beautiful
that,
corns. Look at
nice.
that. And I'm gonna pick this one just because this stalk has fallen over and I feel like it should. Well, how many corns do you think you're gonna eat?
Because we've got Wagyu beef,
Oh,
Wagyu,
Wagyu.
Wagyu Japan. Yeah, so maybe we should just pick, maybe 2 more should be enough.
I think you really need to water this tonight too, because
Yeah.
some of these ears are not quite ready.
Yeah, I should
And I
water
think
them.
these two are probably done.
I should bring a sprinkler here today.
Yeah, these are good and this one is good. But yeah, if you would water this for me, that would be nice. Then we could let the rest of this corn fill out.
Yep.
And then we can either eat it or we can boil it, cut it off and freeze it. We eat a
Yep.
lot. We eat quite a bit of corn in the winter.
Yep.
So it's a nice thing to have if you ever have guests or anything, then you
Yeah.
have a stockpile of vegetables. You can just add vegetables to your meal. It's free.
Good.
It's very nice.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick all this produce and take them to the house. I also really wanna give the chickens some of the kales.
Oh, okay, sure, you
that,
can.
That are we not gonna eat,
Okay.
so that they have some greens to eat. Because today we haven't let them out.
I've given them a lot of things though. But
Have you given
can-
them greens?
I've given them a lot of greens and,
Okay,
and some
so,
bread
so,
and
so I can pass
watermelon.
that. Ooh, look at this, honey. So this is pigweed, and I just ate this, let's say, last week twice, and I was telling my wife that pigweed is actually called amaranth, and amaranth is one of the most nutritious vegetables that we eat in Africa. This is actually premium the most premium vegetables.
Premium
One
salad.
of the most premium vegetables in Africa, including, in Kenya, including black nightshade and something called, I don't know if it's spider plant called saget. And yeah, she
No
did not
chowder.
know about it, surprisingly. In fact, she was like, she was surprised they call it pigweed. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I watered this place sometime last week, and for some reason in this section of our yard, they just sprang like crazy. I tried to eat some, but as you can see, you're still having new ones coming. This is perfect for eating. I'm gonna get some of this.
Tomorrow I'm gonna have to pick these plums.
Oh, we also have plums, right? Good. Did you manage to, are they ripening?
Pretty ripe.
Good, look at that. Look at how purple they've turned. Nice.
So not
Are
to
they
be
sweet?
overwhelmed, I decided I would pick one fruit a day. So today was the day for
Peaches.
Tomorrow I'll do the plums, and then Saturday when I'm at home I will work on the pears.
That's really good plum.
So my process here is going to be, I'm going to sort these. So this one is still pretty hard. I'm putting it back in the box to ripen. Now this one's pretty squishy. It's going to go in my bowl of water. I'm going to wash, take the seed out, and these are amazing. The peel just comes right off.
Good.
Some peaches don't. If they don't, you have to stick them in a pot of boiling water for like 2 seconds, and then the skin peels off.
Good.
So now I can decide, I'm going to have 7 jars that I'm going to freeze. Those I'm going to cut up like this. And then when I have a bowl full, I'm going to put honey on that. Then I'll put them in the jar, turn the lid on, and freeze it. But we'll get to that point then in a
Okay.
minute.
Good.
If it's a nice looking peach, like let's say this one, I'm going to leave it in half. Here, honey,
It's
do you want a
okay, baby.
peach? Do you
It's
want
okay.
a peach?
Yeah, he's teething, so he's
Yeah,
he's
so
feeling
just
the pain, and
come a
he's
bit there.
getting really needy because
Come on,
of that.
bit so.
Oh, my baby, sorry. Yeah, take passion.
Pashing.
Pashing is peach in Dutch, Pennsylvanian Dutch. Yeah. Good.
Anyway, so this is a very lovely half. So I'm actually going to put this in the jar like this. I want it to be, that's kind of slippery now. I want it to be turned this way.
Upside down?
Then I'm going to make the jar full of these. It's very beautiful. And then I'm
Or
going to,
if it's upside down.
I'm going to make a simple sauce,
Yeah.
and then we're going to can these.
But why would you put it upside down? Just
Because
for
a lot
aesthetics?
more fit. A lot more fit. They stack and they're really
Okay.
nicely. So I'm going to do a few of these, and I'll show you a complete jar in just a minute.
Okay.
It's okay, honey. It's okay.
Are you talking? What are you saying?
Can you say daddy?
Dada?
Daddy? Where's daddy? Daddy?
What?
So one of the things about canning is I think it's an art. Like, I don't know, just seeing like the sun shining on a jar of beautiful peaches like this.
I did not know when babies get teeth, they become so cleany.
Yeah, they do, because when it hurts, they usually want to be held and snuggled, and but it seems like pretty soon we'll have a good helper.
No.
Are you gonna reach and find the peaches?
Yeah, he's very alert for a 7-month-old
Well,
baby.
I feel like he's also has very strong hands. My mom always taught us that to involve the children. Like, we would always be very involved with the process. So then children learn where things come from. They learn the effort of what it takes to can and preserve things. Then when it's on the table, then they're a lot more apt to eat it, because they've helped.
Yeah.
You know, they see where it's from. They've helped put it in the jar.
Yeah. just to mention the gravity of this process and food storage, how long do you think this food could be preserved when you can it?
Well, I'm not sure. I know that like some people, I mean, there's been houses where, like somebody might have died and they haven't cleared out their canned goods for a long time. And I know there's been canned things for like over 10 years that are still like,
good,
that
10
still are edible. Now, I usually just do enough for 1 year because I like to have fresh things every year. But yeah, I guess in a pinch they would definitely last more than 1 year.
Yeah. So you see, if this was way back in Africa, all these fruits now, you see, all this week they started like falling down, and the birds started eating them plus the pests. So by next week, all this fruit would have been rotting on the ground or eaten by birds and pests. So if it was in Africa, that would have been the case. Then after next week, we'd have no food.
Yeah, because
Okay.
the peaches are done.
Because, and not only the peaches,
Well, or whatever,
tomatoes and
whatever you're
whatever.
working with.
But then if you can it like this, you have this food for the next 1 year, 2 years.
You do.
Yeah. So that might be a very small, sounds like a simple action, but then it adds up into food security. Now, if all the families would be doing this, especially the families that are classified as starving nations, because there are seasons when they have really plenty of food during the rainy seasons. If they get all the produce that they have and just simply can it this way, when it comes during the dry time, then they'll have ample of food that was canned to eat. Not the situations that we have in we see on TV, and sometimes TVs could exaggerate stuff. But I do know when it's time for famine, I mean during drought season, especially in Africa, and it happens maybe once every year.
That often?
Yeah, every year there has to be, because there is rainy season, dry season, and now the areas that are drier areas, leave alone the equatorial areas, the areas that are typically semi-desert. The rest of the year when it's raining, you can't even know it's a semi-desert.
Oh,
But then when it
gets
stops
dry.
raining, it becomes really dry, and then you have animals dying, you have people dying of starvation. Then you start seeing people like starting to eat twigs, leaves that sometimes are even dangerous, and to the point that the governments have to declare national emergency. Okay?
Well, and it seems like with such a simple thing,
Exactly.
there could be at least some of that resolved with teaching people how to preserve food.
Definitely.
Because if you don't have, if you might not have electricity, you might not have a way to freeze something, but you would have a way to can. You would have a way to can. stuff.
Definitely. So, and if every family gets to do this, then it reflects on the national outlook. Then you have a country or a nation that is not starving. And once people stop starving and stop thinking all of the time, they're thinking of how they'll find food, how they'll survive, then people start to think of other stuff. They have enough time to think about science, making their life better. And from there, you have communities that are actually start changing their lives, start making their lives better. Then from there, it grows outwardly.
It
outwardly.
does,
And that's how I evaluate like nations that have industrialized. They first solved the problem of food, and then when they had ample time, when they don't have to struggle about survival, they started producing more and inventing. Those people who are talented in the families would focus on creating new solutions. Then communities or nations start inventing.
Well, that's called
Stuff.
Maslow's hierarchy of need. So the basic needs have to be met before you can advance up, to other things. Just what you've explained, but there's an actual name for it.
Yeah. So that's why I really am so glad we're doing this. When I saw it, I was like, man, if we ever find ourselves back in Africa, we should definitely start a canning business. And maybe one of you is watching this video, you could steal this idea.
Yeah, you could.
But yeah, start a canning business and teach African moms how to do it, provide all the
even
essentials.
the tomato. Well, the next one, sometime when the tomatoes, we have enough tomatoes, we can do a one on salsa, which you've figured out that works really nicely for a lot of your dishes that you like. And it's a combination of onions, peppers, and tomatoes, and a few spices, and I can it that way. I would tend to eat it with chips, but we've made quite a few different African dishes, or Kenyan dishes, I should say,
Yeah.
with that, and it works really well. So that would be a nice thing for a mom, just to open a can of that, and then her meal would be much
Definitely.
easier. So.
Definitely.
So who knows where the canning business will go. Here we are, we've made good headways. We're almost finished with our basket of peaches. These are ready to can. This is what I'm going to put honey on freeze. And this is all the pieces that are not so great, and I'm going to turn that into jam, peach jam. So when we can things, you can't just put stuff in the jar without liquid in it. So for vegetables, you often add water, or like tomatoes, they make their own juice, so that's fine. But for fruit, they don't really have juice. So I am going to make what is called a simple sugar. I called my mom today and asked her the ratios for this. And she said when she first started canning a long time ago, it would be half water. So let's just say a quart of water and a quart of sugar. That's super sweet. So my mom is a real health, like she likes to not have things so sugary. So we have switched our sweetener to honey, and then we also have changed the ratio now to 5 cups of water and 1 cup of honey. Now, if your fruit is not super sweet, you can change that to 4 cups of water and 1 cup of honey. But these peaches are super sweet, and so we are going to go with the ratio of 5 cups of water, 1 cup of honey. We are going to put that in a kettle and boil that. When it's boiling, we'll pour it over the peaches. Now, as you can see, the peaches have turned a little bit of brown, so there's always a time crunch with this, because the sooner you get the hot syrup on them, the sooner they quit turning brown. And you don't want them to be brown. Now, this is my last jar that I did, and these are the ones that have been sitting here for a second.
Yeah, like this. You don't want them to get this brown.
I mean, that's fine still, but you don't want them to keep getting browner. So the sooner you get them with the simple syrup, and then we'll put a lid and a ring on, and then we'll show you how we do what is called a water bath to seal them.
Good.
So let me go fix the simple syrup. Not super interesting, just water and honey in a kettle and boil, and then I will show you how to finish up the jar of peaches. All right, so these you can purchase at, I think most stores would carry them, possibly Walmart or somewhere like that, that sells canning supplies. These are called flats, and these are called rings. If I'm oversimplifying, it's just for the people who are interested and have never canned. If you're familiar with canning, please excuse the details. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on here. This is my simple syrup. I'm going to just try to get this as close as I can so I don't spill it. And then you also don't want to fill it past what is called the neck. This is the neck of the jar. Otherwise, the can lids or the flats don't have room enough to pressurize and seal. So that's about how much I'll put in there. Then you want to, this is a really big key. You want to make sure that this rim is very clean. If there's anything on it, it will not seal. So I usually wipe it, then I even run my finger over it to make sure I don't feel anything. We put this on, we put a ring on, And you want to turn it as tight as you can.
Good.
Now we're going to do
beautiful.
that to all 7. There's all you can fit 7 jars into my hot water bathing container. So I'm going to do all 7 of these. Then we'll walk out and put these in the
Beautiful.
kettle.
Good.
This is what we call a hot water bath situation. I grew up using a pressure canner, but I don't have one and they're expensive, so I just use this. So there has to be water in here. We'll set our 7 jars in here, and then we turn the burner on. We watch it carefully. When the first bubbles start coming up, that's considered boiling, like it starts to boil. And then my mom told me today that if I don't want the fruit to be mushy, I need to boil it for 10 minutes, let it in the water for 5 minutes, and then take them out. Now, for example, if I do tomatoes like this, I boil them for 1 hour. So it's pretty different with fruit. So yeah, let me go grab those jars and we'll put those in and get that going. And the nice thing about this wire thing is, I will show you as soon as I have them all in there. All right, so this is the nice trick about this, is I will just lift this up and set it down into the water. Now the water needs to be just, I need to add a little bit more. It needs to just cover the tops of the jars. Now the one thing with canning and preserving, it does take time. Like I have to figure about a day, unless of course you have a lot of children, which is the point of having a lot of children. Not really the whole point, but one of the benefits. But this project, I usually figure 1 item a day. So as much peaches as we had, 1 day for the peaches. I might do a whole day for tomatoes, a whole day for plums. It just varies, but it is time consuming. But the neat thing is, we grew this all on our property. We'll preserve this, and this is seven meals of fruit we don't have to buy in the winter. So, and we know what's in it: honey, water, and peaches, and maybe a bug. That's it. This is kind of your 3-in-1 demo of all the things you can do with peaches in 1 day. So this kind, I'm just gonna do a fairly liberal dose of honey on here. That again kind of preserves them from getting browner. I'll give these a good stir so that it's all mixed up. Now to me, these are one of my favorites. So you freeze these and then you set them out the night before, and then in the morning you have just like this, like kind of a little bit icy peaches. You can eat it with yogurt, cottage cheese, oatmeal, plain. Again, these you shouldn't fill up past the neck because, as you know, freezing and thawing can cause glass to break if it is even full. The other thing is, when you're doing stuff with jars, you always want to kind of give it a good shake or pound it with, like with beans you do like this. That kind of presses them down so that the jar actually gets full the whole way. So that looks good. I mean, you want to wipe these too, but it's not as particular because these aren't being sealed. Put the flat on, we put the ring on, and these rings stay on in the freezer. So now I'm just going to put that in the freezer, and then next winter we'll have us some good peaches.
Good.
Wagyu beef.
Yep.
And I believe the Wagyu beef is especially marbled. Like, see all that
Yeah.
marbling? I think that's what makes it
It's
Wagyu.
actually
I
really
think.
expensive too.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I don't like to do a lot of stuff with steak, except add a little olive oil and maybe some salt and pepper. So, but you know, I was thinking while I was doing these peaches that part of my heritage is verbal. And so what's handed down to me from my mom is a lot of verbal things. So I was thinking back about when I was a little girl. I was small enough to sit on the counter, and we would do this same procedure with Peaches, and I was so proud that I got to help her. She taught me how to do Peaches when I was little. The first thing I was allowed to make by myself was jam, which we're going to make jam today.
Good.
And so in some ways, when I call my mom to ask her about things, I don't actually remember sometimes. Like, she's done it 65 years, she's canned things, so she remembers.
Good.
For me, I've canned a lot, but it goes maybe 1 year I don't have a lot of Peaches, so in 2 years I might forget, is it 10 minutes or is it 15 minutes that I hot water bath? And so in some ways I don't remember, but in other ways, part of the verbal thing is that I call her because I want to check up on her. I want to see what she's canning and what she's doing. And then she's interested in knowing what I'm doing and what I'm canning, and we share little tips we learn along the way. And so it just kind of keeps going. She still teaches me a lot of things even now. And even my sisters, like, I couldn't remember if I was supposed to buy Sure-Gel or Pectin at the store to make jam. So I called my sister Gina, and she told me, oh yeah, you buy Pectin, half a cup, 6 cups of fruit, that sort of thing. So I guess that is just to explain why I call my mom and my sisters when I'm canning. It's kind of it's a nice sense of feeling that they know what I'm canning, I know what they're canning, and we remind each other about things. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Staying connected through food.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run this out to the grill.
Yep.
We're a little on the late side, so it's dark. So I don't know that it's gonna show very well.
Let's see if this security light's gonna help.
I don't think so.
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna see very much.
We could, but then the shutter speed is so low that it's blurry.
Okay. It's just a hot grill,
Good, yeah.
sizzling Wagyu beef. We generally try to not eat at midnight, but tonight it might be midnight. And then I will show you. I'm gonna work on what is called kachumbari.
Yep, kachumbari. Yeah,
Did
you
I
got
say it right?
Yep, and we also have to make the pigweed.
Well, you get to do the pigweed.
Good, I'll do that.
You do the pigweed. I'm gonna do the kachumbari. I'll show you the sweet corn that I'm cooking.
Good. Basically just boiling them,
Just
right?
boiled until it's, changes color.
Good.
And I would just like to show you these. Aren't these gorgeous? Now to me,
They look beautiful.
let's get this thing away. But to me, a can of beautiful peaches is just like, wow, like a painting.
I want to tell you a little story. So during the rainy seasons, a bunch of vegetables would spring up everywhere, like indigenous vegetables in Kenya. And one of the vegetables would be pigweed. I later on found out that pigweed is called amaranth in its scientific name, and it's one of the most nutritious vegetables. So when I was watering the garden boxes, because I have that sprinkler that is set to rotate all that way, I can't really control where the water is going to. So a lot of water went to the lawn, and for some reason the pigweed just sprang out like crazy, and I was like, oh man, this is pigweed, reminds me of the old days. So I got some, ate it twice, and it was the most amazing pigweed that I've ever tasted. Then we also have black nightshade, but I've researched about it. People here say it's poisonous, and there's apparently poisonous species. So I've been a little hesitant on that, but I think they are not poisonous, because all the black nightshade that we eat in Africa, we always sometimes go gathering them. People go gathering them in forests, kids go gathering them, get them, come home, cook it, and it's amazing. So one of these days I might actually overcome my fears of getting poisoned by some black nightshade species, and try them. Come here. Let's wash these vegetables. So what I'm gonna do is, just to get rid of, I haven't seen bugs on this or soil. So I'm just gonna like wash them just to get rid of, so that the bugs or soil would kind of like float or yeah.
Do
You-
you call
you
this
get the
pigweed
drift.
in Kenya too?
No, in Swahili, we call it. There's actually very different terms for this in different languages. So in Swahili, which is kind of like, and it's mostly known for that, especially in the coastal regions, it's called muchicha.
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 Well, that's a good
Yeah, and
one.
I think that's the Swahili term. It has crystallized to be the Swahili term. In most of the places, my mom, where we were from in Kitale, people used to call them dodo.
Dodo.
Yeah, dodo.
Dodo.
Yeah, then later on, when I visited Mombasa, is when I learned of muchicha. But then in school, we actually came across them. They were categorized as weeds, and they were called pigweed. But then later on in life, I came across them, and farmers were being encouraged to plant them because
Encouraged to plant
to
pigweed.
plant them because
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, the seeds, the leaves are good for.
I know,
human
we looked it up,
consumption
and it was
and
really
such.
healthy.
So its agriculture was actually being
Encouraged.
encouraged. So that's where I learned of the name amaranth.
I see.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is just gonna lift that up so that in case there's soil or dirt, as you call it in American English, it's gonna sink to the bottom, and any more of any bugs is gonna be added proteins. It's actually, it has high content level of vegetable proteins. Then we're gonna just return it to this same kettle. We don't want to waste those leaves. Well, we have more than we can eat, so add a little bit of water because they're very soft leaves. So we're not gonna be boiling for a long time. Just a little bit. Then we're gonna like add oil and fry it and.
And I'm going to be a little honest here. I haven't actually tasted them yet, but
Yeah.
I will tonight.
Yeah, it's the best. It's really good.
I mean, it's way cheaper than buying a can of powdered vitamins on Amazon.
Oh, definitely.
You just go out in the yard and pick a little pigweed.
Definitely. Do you know, I came across some documentaries, and there was a time I was really interested in supplements and information about it, and I found out. I'm not going to speak much to it anyway. I don't know much about it. I don't buy them. I've never taken them. It's all a hoax.
All a hoax.
Yeah, especially in America, people have been sold the idea of supplements when you don't actually need those supplements. There's nothing that you'll get from those supplements that you won't get from these. If it's
But you
vitamin,
see, a lot of
vegetable.
people probably wouldn't be brave enough to try eating pigweed.
No, you have lettuce, you have kales, you have all. What I mean is, there's nothing you'll get from those
That you couldn't eat
that you
in
wouldn't get in
something.
vegetables. So the best thing to do, according to my analysis, I could be right, I could be wrong, but the people who are informed, or I could say my informed opinion is, and take it or leave it. You don't need to buy them. Just go, instead of walking or ordering pills, just walk into a supermarket. If you can't grow your own, but I highly encourage you to grow your own, but maybe you can't access land, or you can't do hydroponics or whatever. So just walk in a supermarket, buy vegetables.
Buy some vegetables.
Exactly.
And do as little as you can with them and eat them up.
Yeah, but for me, where I come from, we don't eat vegetables raw.
Yeah.
we have to cook it at least.
I know what. Tonight you could eat raw ones and I could eat cooked ones.
No, because you see these
No.
vegetables, there's no way you can eat these vegetables.
Well, that's probably why we
So,
don't eat them.
to begin with, they say, according to my research, like something like black nightshade, you can't really eat it raw because they say it's poisonous. But when you boil it, it kills the toxins. I mean, it gets rid of the boiling gets rid of the toxins.
You got it.
Exactly. So you see, that's why we always cook vegetables. I don't know, we just found it.
I'm
I think
I'm
it's
really
also
distracted.
because
There's a
of-
daddy long leg on your back.
Oh, sorry. I think it's also because we live in a warmer environment or climate, so there's a lot of bacteria always growing. There's a lot of germs, and we can't really afford to eat raw things.
Right.
So you have
So
to.
it kind of came out of necessity, but then it turned
Exactly.
into a taste.
Yeah,
more.
but think of this: if you cook kales, it becomes way tastier. If you give you these leaves to, if I give you these leaves to eat right now, you won't eat them. But if I cook, man, it's the sweetest vegetables. Black nightshade, sweetest vegetables. Okay.
Okay,
So,
but I challenge you to have a little lettuce.
lettuce. But the thing is, you can't even cook lettuce.
Why? No, I mean like uncooked lettuce.
But anyway, yeah,
Because I had a big salad today, and it was
amazing.
yes.
Okay, I'll try that. Good. Okay, so what we're gonna do, in fact, we can actually go ahead and add olive oil because the water is just gonna evaporate and leave the oil behind, and then it's gonna start frying. Then what we could also do is add just some oil, some salt. Yeah, that's enough. And just stir this a little bit so that we get the salt into that water, not water. Yeah, you see how the green is turning into like a saturated contrasty green. Look at that, man, that's the look of health. You see how green it's turning? Beautiful.
The thing is, it looks awfully much like cooked spinach, and I'm not so fond of cooked spinach, but I'll believe you that it's delicious.
Definitely, it has the texture of cooked spinach,
Okay.
but it's way delicious than cooked spinach.
Okay.
Good.
Well, we shall
So I think
see. You could probably turn the
that
burner
is hot.
off. Yeah.
I mean, that's already done. Then our Wagyu beef is ready to be tanned. Do you
Not
think
quite.
so?
I'm
Okay.
going to work on the kachumbari.
So, yeah, let's work on the kachumbari and then, yeah, put this food on the table, eat it with you guys, then say ciao. I want to give you some really nice memories. You feel that, you smell that nice aroma?
I do
Almost
smell it.
smells like beetroot.
But it's kind of an
but it's-
earthy
But
smell.
it's really nice,
Yeah.
okay? It's really appetizing. My mouth is actually watering when I, because of that smell. So every time I look at, this is the first time I'm telling this story. Every time I look at amaranth growing down on the soil, I actually remember this time. So let me tell you this story. There was a time when we moved to Milimani. I remember, if my memory served me right. So my mom moved to Milimani. Remember the story I told you about? Not really Milimani, but Shimo La Tewa, close
Yeah.
to Milimani. And she constructed a 10 feet by 20 feet metallic shed, like corrugated roof.
Okay.
And she brought one cow and one goat along with her.
And her, how many children?
She was pregnant with Angela,
So that was
my
number
younger
6.
sister. Yeah, Angela.
Isn't she number 6?
So I'm 5th.
Yeah.
Marlon's, she's 7th.
Oh, she's 7th. That's
She's
right.
7th. And there was this guy called Ngaira. May God bless his soul, he's now deceased. He used to take care of these animals for my mom. Now, many years later, we had about maybe 7 to 10 cows. And Ngaira was working in one of those posh, nice compounds in Milimani. Remember the one I explained?
Yeah.
So at that time we had so many cattle and we had trouble finding grass. So Mom talked to Ngaira and Ngaira let us, because he was in charge of the grounds and he was the caretaker of that whole compound, and maybe I think the owners used to travel a lot. So the Ngaira let our cattle eat in that compound. The grass was so nice and leafy and nice, and it had just started raining.
Oh.
And we took our kettle there, and the area was fenced, so we did not have to run around after
Oh,
the
you
kettle.
have to herd them as much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then there was a lot of pigweed growing around in that area.
okay.
So we picked a lot of the pigweed, then brought them home. Man, I can't tell you how nice it feels. Let me turn this off so that we don't burn it.
Well, so for one thing,
I can't stress enough
Yeah.
how nice it used to feel when we brought the kettle home and all the tummies, the right side and the left side were all big,
that means they were full.
full of water and full of
Grass.
grass. Okay,
Yeah.
but then we also had a lot of amaranth with us. And remember when I told you we used to eat ugali kales, which is
Ugali
Kuwait.
kale.
Ugali kales religiously. So whenever we had like rains and we had all these type of vegetables springing up everywhere together with mushrooms, sometimes we used to be so excited and
You finally got a little
a
variety.
little bit of change.
Yeah,
okay?
that's
So we
good.
brought this home and we ate it for an entire week.
All these
with
pigweeds.
ugali, the pigweed.
Ah.
Okay, nice. So every time I see pigweed just springing everywhere,
Oh, so there's a
it
lot more
gives
with
me
that
a
than
lot-
just the pigweed.
Yeah, it gives me a lot of joy. And the first memory I remember, I can't get rid of this. I don't know why.
What
This is
is
the
it?
first time I'm explaining.
Yeah.
It. The first thing I remember about pigweed, I mean, when I see them is that compound, Ngaira.
You just
how
see
it
that again
felt.
in your head.
Oh man, like, yeah, that was. It just gives me a nice feeling.
Well,
Okay.
and I feel like sometimes the memories that go with food, I mean, that smells and feelings are
Exactly.
so like poignant.
Yeah. So right now, this is kachumbari. This is capsicum. You'd call them peppers. right?
Yes, sweet peppers,
Sweet
not
peppers?
not hot peppers.
Good.
Then we've got, as you call them, blue onions.
Blue onions.
And then we have this beautiful pineapple tomato. Look at him.
Aha.
Isn't he beautiful?
Did you cut that inside
yes,
here?
I did.
Good.
I think that will be really nice. And then we also will add
Cilantro.
a heavy dose of what you call coriander, which it is coriander once it... Oh, I like that you brought so many.
Yep. While she's cutting that, I want to show you how green this has turned. Look at that green. Look at that contrast. Nice. Look at it. Man, I can't tell you how happy I feel when I see it and when I get that smell. Oh, man.
Well, now I know what to feed you if ever you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
All it takes is pigweed.
Pigweed. Yes, look at that.
Here, let me have that fork a second.
Good, look at that. Is this ready?
I think so.
Good. Let's serve it here. Dear everlasting Father, thank you for this meal. May you bless it, may it be a good source of nutrition and health, and may you provide for those who do not have around the world. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Good.
So this is just a matter of us growing things on our property,
Yep.
except the
meat,
steak,
the steak.
which we will add that we don't always eat steak.
Yeah, especially we eat steak,
We
but
eat
not
steak.
Wagyu. Once in a while, we don't eat steak a lot. Once in a while,
Yeah.
But Wagyu steak, this is just I had it in my mind. I've had it before, but you know what? I did not know it was this expensive.
Oh.
I just went with my camera, took it off the shelf when I was paying.
Well,
and
it's
the lady was like-
$18 a pound, so that's why it adds up.
The lady was like, "Ding, it's gonna be $73 for you," and I'm like, "Well." So that's when I found out it's so expensive.
But that's 2 steaks. You
Yeah.
bought 2, and we
Yeah.
usually share one.
Yeah.
So that means they're about 2 pounds a piece.
But this is soup because
But
it's
the-
Wagyu, right?
Right, but we just want you to know we don't always eat Wagyu steak.
Yeah. So anyway,
Disclaimer.
I was so hungry today. I had that in my mind, and I was like, man.
And now I feel like you have a little bit of buyer's remorse.
Yeah. I feel guilty for it, but anyway,
Well-
I think we've earned it, right?
I think today we can just enjoy this, and then we probably won't eat this again for a while.
So the reason why Wagyu is so expensive, it probably is the type of cattle probably has the best distribution of fat around the steak or meat. It's called marbling, and that's why it's people love it. And when you have people loving a product, and then the supply is low and the demand is high, it just, especially in America, it just goes insanely expensive.
Yeah, it does. It
Can
really
you- yeah.
does.
So that's it. Let's get into it. It's so late, and this video is long. We
I
need to
think
go.
I don't think they need to watch us chew, but we will.
Yeah.
We know this is all delicious,
Yeah.
and I promise I'll eat a little twig of this for you on the video.
How does that taste? No, eat some more. Eat some more. It tastes good. it still doesn't.
Well,
It-
I'll have to get used to it.
Ah, is it strange?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
But does it taste good?
Well, I probably wouldn't pick that tomorrow to eat,
Ah, really?
but it's not. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever eaten.
Oh man, it's just amazing how we acquire tastes for different things.
We do.
And what we think is really good is not really good, does not taste really good for other people. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get everything, then give you my signature taste. People love it so much. I'm having like my nieces and nephews everywhere like misbehaving on their like dinner
Yeah, on
tables.
at their dinner table,
And
they're
then
like,
the parents are
we're gonna
posting,
eat like
"You know what-
Marcellus."
You know what? This guy, this baby, this kid did, this child did. So, yeah, let's do it. So we're gonna take that. I don't know how to do the corn, but let's try it this way. So I'm gonna do this.
I feel like the ketchumbari we usually eat with our hands, so
yeah.
maybe we have to just succumb and eat with our hands.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Waiting and ready. I can't do it like you, so I'll let you do that. The corn's pretty legit.
Wow, that's amazing. And on that tune, I think it's safe to say goodbye, and this is the end of this video.
Goodbye. Yes.
Till the next one, bye.